Most people train their punches completely backwards. They're lifting heavy, getting stronger, watching their bench press numbers climb, and wondering why their punches still feel weak. Here's what actually builds knockout power, and it's probably not what you think. Punching power doesn't come from your arms. It doesn't come from your chest. It doesn't even come from how much you can lift. Real power, the kind that actually matters when you're throwing hands, comes from explosive full body movement. That's the difference between someone who looks strong and someone who hits hard. You can bench press 300 pounds and still punch like you're swatting flies if you don't train the right way. Let's talk about what actually happens when you throw a powerful punch. Your legs drive forward, your hips rotate violently, your core transfers all that energy up through your torso, your shoulder whips forward, and your fist, it's just the delivery system at the end of a kinetic chain that started from the ground up. Every powerful punch you've ever seen thrown worked exactly like this. The problem is most people train their arms and chest and completely ignore the engine that actually generates the force. So what builds that engine? Explosive movements, not slow, controlled lifts, not traditional strength training. Explosive, violent, full body movements that teach your muscles to fire fast and hard. That's where we start. The first exercise that's going to transform your punching power is the dumbbell snatch. This movement is a game changer because it trains every single muscle group involved in throwing a powerful punch all at once with the exact kind of explosiveness you need. You're working your legs, your core, your back, and your shoulders in one violent coordinated movement. Here's how it works. Start with a dumbbell on the ground between your feet. Squat down, grab it with one hand, and then explode upward using your hips and legs to drive that weight straight up above your head in one smooth motion. You're not curling it. You're not pressing it. You're launching it upward with your entire body, catching it overhead with your arm locked out. Then you bring it back down and repeat. The key word here is explode. You want that weight moving fast. This isn't a slow grind. You're training your nervous system to recruit muscle fibers quickly and powerfully. That's the same mechanism that makes punches devastating. Quick recruitment, maximum force delivered in a fraction of a second. Start light until you nail the form down. This movement takes practice. Your body needs to learn the coordination. But once you've got it, load up heavier weight and focus on that explosive drive from your hips. That hip snap you're using to throw the dumbbell overhead, that's the exact same motion that generates power in a hook or a cross. Don't have weights? No problem. Burpees work almost identically. Drop down, explosive push-up, jump your feet forward, and launch yourself into the air as high as you can. Same muscle groups, same explosive pattern, same benefits. Focus on making every single rep as explosive as possible. If you're moving slow, you're wasting your time. Now here's where it gets interesting. Building explosive power is only half the equation. You also need to train the specific movement pattern of a punch with that same explosive quality. That's where medicine ball work comes in, and this might be the closest thing to actually throwing punches while still building raw power. Grab a medicine ball somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds. Lie on your back, hold it above your chest, and then explode upward, launching that ball straight up into the air as high as you possibly can. Catch it, absorb the impact, and immediately fire it back up again. You're using your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, and your back, the exact same muscles involved in punching, and you're training them to fire explosively. The beauty of this exercise is the variations. You can stand up and throw the ball into a wall, catching the rebound and immediately firing it back. You can work with a partner, throwing it back and forth. You can even practice keeping your opposite hand up in a guard position while you throw, mimicking actual fighting stance. Every variation builds that explosive pushing power your punches need. No medicine ball? Clapping push-ups are your answer. Drop down into a push-up, then explode upward with enough force that your hands leave the ground. Clap if you can. Land and repeat. If that's too much, start from your knees and work your way up. The goal isn't how many you can do. The goal is maximum explosiveness on every single rep. But here's what most people miss, and this is critical. These exercises build the engine. They create the explosive power, but they don't teach you how to actually deliver that power through a punch. That requires something else entirely, and it's probably the most important part of this whole equation. That's where the heavy bag comes in. This is the bridge between raw power and actual punching power. Think about how runners train to get faster. They don't strap ankle weights on and walk around the mall. They go to the track and run faster, pushing their limits with the actual movement they're trying to improve. Same principle applies here. You want to punch harder? Then you need to practice punching hard. Wrap your hands properly. Throw on 14 to 16 ounce gloves. Find a heavy bag. And then absolutely rip into it. Not for 3 minutes straight. That's endurance training. And we're not building endurance right now. We're building explosive power. You want high intensity intervals. 10 seconds of pure violence. The hardest, most powerful punches you can throw. Hooks to the body, crosses to the head. Every punch thrown with maximum intent, twisting your hips, driving through with your whole body. Then rest for 10 seconds. Catch your breath. Let your muscles recover. And when those 10 seconds are up, you explode right back into it. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Repeat until you hit 3 minutes total. You might need longer rest periods at first. Longer, that's fine. Work up to it. The point isn't to gas yourself out. The point is that every time you throw, you're throwing at 100%. That rest period lets your nervous system reset so you can recruit maximum force every single interval. This isn't about muscling through fatigue. It's about training your body to generate and deliver power when it matters. And here's what makes this so effective. You're not just building power in isolation anymore. You're teaching your body to channel all that explosive strength you developed with snatches and medicine ball work directly through your fists. You're reinforcing the motor pattern, training the specific coordination, building the neural pathways that turn raw strength into devastating punches. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, your core, specifically rotational power. Because almost every powerful punch you throw, whether it's a hook, a cross, or even an uppercut, gets its force from rotation through your hips and torso. If that rotation is weak or slow, you're leaving power on the table no matter how strong your arms and shoulders are. That's where resistance band work comes in, and it's wildly underrated. Grab a resistance band and anchor it at chest height. Stand with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width. Keep your arms completely straight and locked out. Grip the band with both hands, step back until you feel tension, and then violently twist your hips and torso, pulling the band across your body. Don't pivot your feet. The power comes entirely from your core rotation. Twist hard and fast. Then control the return and explode into the next rep. Make sure you train both sides equally, your left and your right. No resistance band? Use a cable machine the exact same way. The motion is identical. You're training the muscles that generate rotational force, the same force that turns a mediocre punch into one that actually hurts. Hooks rely almost entirely on this. But even straight punches get a massive boost from proper hip rotation. This exercise isolates and strengthens that exact movement pattern. Now, here's the reality check nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to. Power means absolutely nothing if your punch doesn't land. You can have the hardest right hand in the world, but if it's slow, telegraphed, or aimed at empty air, what did it accomplish? Nothing. The punch that does damage is the one your opponent doesn't see coming. Speed matters, timing matters, accuracy matters, technique matters. Power is just one ingredient in a much bigger recipe. Master your technique first. Learn to throw punches with proper form, with your body aligned correctly, with your weight transferred efficiently. Then add power on top of that foundation. If you skip the foundation and just chase power, you'll throw wild, sloppy punches that are easy to avoid and leave you off balance. That's how you get countered. That's how you get hurt. And one more thing that trips people up constantly: strength and power are not the same thing. You might bench press 225 pounds. You might curl 100. That's impressive. But those movements don't translate directly into punching power because the motion is completely different. A bicep curl is slow and controlled. A punch is explosive and fast. You're training different energy systems, different muscle fiber recruitment patterns, different neural pathways. The exercises we just covered, snatches, medicine ball throws, heavy bag intervals, rotational band work, those train the specific type of power your punches actually need. Explosive, fast, coordinated. So if you're serious about hitting harder, these 4 movements will get you there. They build the engine. They teach the pattern. They connect raw strength to functional punching power. But remember, power without technique is just wasted energy. Train smart. Build the foundation, then unleash everything on top of it. That's how you develop punches that actually matter. You've got the blueprint: explosive snatches to build full body power, medicine ball work to train the punching motion itself, heavy bag intervals to connect everything through your fists, and rotational band work to strengthen your core. Stack these together consistently and your punches will hit different. Just don't forget what actually wins fights. It's not the hardest hitter, it's the smartest one who lands clean while the other guy swings at air.